You know, if anybody's ever given a speech like that, you know how hard it is. And just as a recognition of the work it takes for a valedictorian to give a speech, give it one more applause for Gwyneth. Universities are a place of learning. They're a place of knowledge. They're a place where people get skills. It's a place where people grow. They're also, and very importantly, part of a community. You know, no longer is a university a place where just the knowledge is housed. Those days have gone by with the internet. Universities now are a place that fits squarely in the community, and it's sort of a heartbeat. It's part of what fuels the community, and the community fuels us. And so a tradition at UAT during our commencement ceremony is we acknowledge individuals who are near us, who share our vision and share our ideals, and do things that we think feed the future of technology. When we think about recipients of honorary doctorates, we're looking for individuals who are engaged, who are very committed. In a lot of ways, this is a Life of Achievement Award, but not a Lifetime Achievement Award. Our honorary doctorate recipients are individuals who, in all likelihood, have done a great body of work, but still are going to do a great deal ahead. And so with this in mind, we're very, very proud and very pleased to be recognizing 3 remarkable individuals today. So let me introduce them to you. To begin, talk to Councilwoman Gallego. She represents the Phoenix District 8. Kate is a millennial. She is the first MBA, which she earned from Wharton School of Business and Entrepreneurship, after earning a degree in environmental studies from Harvard. As a millennial, I think that's an amazing combination. It's so reflective of where we are right now, where as we've grown as a culture and a community, we're thinking about things like how do we build our community, how do we take care of the environment. What's more that, as a member of the Phoenix City Council, her passion is for infrastructure. Now, working in the community, her resume is vast. And I'm going to read it because I couldn't commit it to memory. She currently chairs the Phoenix Environmental Quality Commission, the Solar Energy Commission. She chairs the City Council Neighborhoods Housing and Development Subcommittee. In her service to Phoenix, she works with My Plan Phoenix, Arizona Latino Arts and Culture Center, the Arizona Commission on Service and Volunteerism. And through all of this, what she is doing, oh, and she's also a graduate of VI Leadership Class 28, which I'd be very remiss if I didn't mention. Through all of this, she is aware of how a community's infrastructure creates opportunities for things to grow. And what I've noticed about Kate over the years I've known her that I've always appreciated is that she has the capacity, through her intellect, to take a very complex idea and distill it down in a way that the listener sees how it relates to them. This is a skill that we talk about that all technologists and scientists should have, because think about the world we would have if everyone could explain an idea in the context that the listener understood how it relates. So for all of these reasons, we're very, very honored to be giving Kate an honorary doctorate from UAT. Please come forward.
It is my honor to be here with you today. Thank you, class of 2015. Give yourselves one more round of applause for this great achievement. I also want to thank Dr. Bowman for that wonderful introduction. Your provost is really a great advocate for access to technology for everyone, and you're so lucky to have him here today. As students graduating, you're probably feeling all sorts of emotions. Maybe some of you are experiencing a little bit of relief at the fact that you finally made it after all this time. Maybe you're experiencing pride in having accomplished something after lots of hard work, sacrifice, and having had to take steps that meant the difference between success and failure. Maybe you're experiencing all of the above or something else entirely. While each of you has your own story, I think one emotion that you're justified in feeling today is excitement. I can tell you that the day of your graduation is exciting for obvious reasons. Today is truly filled with opportunity, a day when the future is what you make of it and the rest of your life is before you. These things are all very true and all cause for excitement. That being said, these are things you might hear in any graduation speech. Since you are all UAT graduates, it's likely that you move to the beat of your own drummer. UAT is a school for many years has offered programs that are cutting edge in fields such as digital media and game designs, fields that currently represent not just the future, but the present of our information economy. Always ahead of the curve, UAT has degrees in fields that are found in many places, fields that other schools don't cover, fields where other schools are only now just beginning to offer programming. These are exciting areas of work, areas of opportunity and growth. This is exciting stuff. Not only are you graduating with training in some of the most exciting fields that are out there, but you're graduating in the world's most exciting place, the Valley of the Sun. I realize you think I might be a little bit biased since I am on the Phoenix City Council. I could see where you might think that. But joking aside, Phoenix, Tempe, Mesa, Chandler, the Valley has one of the coolest and most exciting scenes for anyone in the technology sector. While we may not have the pretensions of other self-styled tech towns, Phoenix has the innovators, the entrepreneurial spirit, and the infrastructure we need to go pound for pound against any city in the country. In my own district, we are home to amazing entrepreneurial incubators, such as the Center for Entrepreneurial Innovation, and co-working spaces such as Cahoots. I have the pleasure of representing Phoenix's Warehouse District, where integrators across the country see potential for the next hotspot for investment and innovation in fields such as the ones UAT excels in. Companies including WebPT are breaking the rules of business and making Metro Phoenix's tech industry a more exciting place to be every day, and Silicon Valley is noticing. Hot companies such as Zenefits are noticing and opening up shop, creating jobs, and generating momentum that ideally you could benefit from. We're also trying to do more with technology in the government sector, although we do have a ways to go. But we've made small changes. You can now pay for parking with an app, and big changes, putting more and more of government online. But we still haven't had as much movement between technology and government as we really need to see. In the legal field, the top students graduating from the best law schools spend some time in a clerkship, working in the judicial system and understanding a little bit about government. In science, government grants and fellowships are key to many successful careers. And when Tom Cruise makes a movie about being a pilot, his Top Gun character gets training from the government. But when Hollywood makes a movie about Facebook, there's no government service for Mark Zuckerberg. In so many career paths, time in government is a key part of development, but not in the one you are likely to pursue. And this may explain some things, like the terrible launch of healthcare.gov. And we'd be stronger as a state and country if more people such as UAT grads spent some time getting to know government and sharing your talents with us. We need you. We're doing a lot of video training at the City of Phoenix, and I kept thinking how much better it would be if the person who did this introductory video, or if Gwyneth had done those videos instead of the people who are doing them now. So I hope you'll think about sometime, even if it's just a brief stop, spending a little bit of time in government, whether it's doing those training videos or developing an app to help people catch the light rail on time. I personally am very gifted at showing up just as the train pulls away, and I feel like there's got to be a technology solution that could just send me a beep and say, leave now to be there on time. So maybe someone in this room could help me out. I personally have found government very rewarding, even though it's a bit of a surprise to me that I ended up in the field of government. As you heard in the introduction, I recently got an MBA that I am still paying for. And I wasn't on the government track when I went into grad school. I had come back from grad school and was working in economic development, trying to attract new jobs to the Valley. I was living in downtown Phoenix and loving the excitement, but there were areas where I wanted more. I wanted to see more shade, more events, more activities downtown, wanted to grow the light rail, really change Phoenix to become the city and get that infrastructure that will help us move into the next century. And speaking of infrastructure, I am thrilled that you chose to have graduation along the big new light rail expansion. It's hard for me to say this since I'm from Phoenix, but this may be the best looking one that we've had. They're really doing great things with arts and connecting Mesa, and you're here right in the middle of it all happening as we move forward. So I wanted to be in the middle of all of that as Phoenix moved forward, and there was an open seat on the city council, so I decided to stop providing suggestions about what I wanted government to do and run for it myself. It was a big step for me. I've never done anything before where I could really fail publicly. And to paraphrase a famous movie, the odds were ever not in my favor. I was not particularly well known. I am a millennial, and I love our generation. One thing we're not particularly good at is voting. So the average age of the voter, even though I was in a downtown district that includes a lot of university students, the average age of a voter was twice my age because, unfortunately, we are not great at voting, although I know you all will break that trend and vote regularly in upcoming elections. In addition to being quite young to get into politics, I belong to a religion that is not very common in the district where I was running. And I just wasn't an obvious fit. It sort of felt like wrong gender, wrong age, wrong religion. I also spent the first months of my race answering questions like, well, would you be happier if you just stayed home, had kids, raised a family, or don't you want to wait until you're a little bit older, maybe look more like an elected official? Responding to the naysayers was tough, but I'm glad I did it. And you all will face naysayers as well, especially if you decide to push boundaries. If you're trying to bring a new technology to market or enter a field where no one else looks like you, you'll have to believe in yourself when few others do. But as Gwyneth said, it will be worth it, and the most important things you do will not be the easiest. So although I did not love every step along the way, I'm so glad I did it. I campaigned one voter at a time, going door to door in Arizona's incredibly hot summer. My campaign team and I had an app on our phones and iPods that we downloaded that allowed us to track our interactions, who we'd spoken with, who told us we were not sure, we need more information, and then we could follow up with them. And for every person who said, oh, you look like a little girl, what are you doing here? There were 2 who said, we're excited about your vision to expand light rail south of downtown in Phoenix. So door by door, we were able to build and keep track of that data, and that turned out to be one of our key advantages, using technology in a way that others had not. We know where we were weak, where we were doing well, who we needed to go back to. Being digital, being on the cloud was incredibly helpful because political campaigns have in the past been really paper intensive, and people had to spend hours taking paper and transferring data and doing data entry, whereas with our app we could just click one button and it would all be uploaded. So that technology gave us that extra edge, and after a very long summer, a great campaign season, I had the pleasure of becoming both the first woman and the first millennial to serve on the Phoenix City Council. So I'm hoping that I will be able to change the stereotype of what politicians look like and what a politician does. And in talking with some of you, I think you'll do the same in your fields. It wasn't too long ago that the stereotype of folks in the technology and IT fields was one of socially inept Anglo dudes. And now nothing could be further from the truth. The folks who are graduating today are the next and the current entrepreneurs, innovators, networkers in our city. When it comes to things like ethnicity and gender, the tech industry is slowly but surely beginning to reflect the customer base they serve and the communities they live in. And on a personal note, this is particularly exciting to me, as I'm a huge advocate for recruiting women to non-traditional fields. There are more women working in fields like yours today than there have ever been in any time in history, although we do have some progress still to make. I worked in the electric utility industry for a decade before serving on the city council, and I've always tried to be an advocate for women working on issues like equal pay. It's not always easy for women in our fields, but my message to the women in our audience is don't be afraid to speak up, negotiate your salary, raise the questions others aren't asking, and help your employers be the best they can be, or start your own company. No matter how you slice and dice it, the tech industry is not only getting more diverse, as is our society and our city, but we're going towards infinitely more opportunities for us to engage with our communities and embed technology into our city in a way that will allow us all to be the best we can be. Our community is changing almost as quickly as many of your industries, and getting to be a part of that change, that's the most exciting part of all. Jump in with all you can. Today is an exciting day, and I want to thank you for sharing it with me. Congratulations, class of 2015.